All right, hello and welcome everybody. This is Sheena Williams with Krav Maga Salem. I am joined today by the infamous Amber Staklinski. She's out in North Carolina right now and joining us to talk a little bit more about training at home and all the amazing things that she is and has done. So Amber, welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Sheena. Thanks for having me on. Hey guys, welcome to normal interaction.
So Amber, you've been training for a long time. I understand you started kind of your martial arts career at age 6.
Yep, yeah.
Can you tell us?
Yeah, my dad wanted to put me in martial arts. I started at 6 in Shaolin Kempo, is what it was. When I moved away from California is where I started. It was very hard to find anywhere else. So that led me down just a whole rabbit hole of trying other things. Taekwondo, I did Kung Fu for about 6 months. So, there's that. And then as I got into high school, found Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai and kickboxing, all that kind of stuff, and just never stopped.
Which is excellent. And now, I mean, with all that background and the different variations, I mean, you're able to, anybody who's trained with Amber, you can see some of that in everything that you do. I love that you've got so much training and so many different variations because you're really taking from all of those things the best of and putting it to use in your plans and your training, which is fantastic. You have this gigantic list of classes that you teach on a regular basis. I was teasing earlier saying my arm got tired writing them all down. I mean, from kids classes to firearms, sparology, seminars, left and right, online training. Of all the things that you do, right, which we could literally just spend an hour listing those, what is the one you look forward to teaching the most?
Ooh, wow. That can often change day to day. I'll tell you the surprising one that I look forward to, and especially now with what's going on that I miss a lot, is little kids, like the 4 to 7-year-olds, the ones that make most people cringe and are like, no, never, not in a million years. And that was me when I first started teaching them, like high school girl. Okay, let's have her teach the little kids. That'll be great, right? Oh my God, what a mess. I learned so many ways not to teach little kids from that time of my life. But I've really started to figure it out, and I've started to learn what to expect, and so that it's a class that I've really started to love, and I can teach them in my true form, which is goofy and weird and making random animal connections to random moves that don't really fit, but they're like, yeah, totally, that looks like a frog, let's go with it. So that's been surprisingly really fun in terms of daily basis teaching.
That is a fun class. That age is just ridiculously fun. So, but I find that, they listen about as well as regular adults.
See, that. I expect them not to listen to half of what I say. So it's okay when they don't listen to half of what I say. And then you hit adults and it's like, why do I expect you to learn to listen more? All right, well.
So now, obviously you work with Ryan Hoover a lot, and he's very well known for saying or having his own phrases like "it depends" or "context matters," which I 100% agree with. Every time he says it, I shake my head. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But on that note, what would be something your students or your colleagues would consider an Amber phrase?
I, especially recently, I've been saying same thing but different a lot. And when I teach, I tend to connect things through pretty well. And the way we structure our classes work that way, to where you do this one thing and it leads you to the next thing and the next thing, and then it kind of culminates and you can put it all together, and that facilitates better learning. But a lot of things, I make connections either through different parts of the system or random other things I've done, or random sports that I don't really know but kind of know enough to talk about. And so I use that phrase a lot. It's like, okay, this is the same thing, but just different. So yeah, I'm not sure if that made any sense to anyone. If not, come to seminar and you'll figure it out.
So obviously we're in kind of a weird, unprecedented time with training and everything, and you guys have been putting out so much content and offering so much free stuff. It's been just invaluable. I know I've been sharing it with my members. It's just great training all the way around. And this isn't really new for you guys to be, in front of the camera and training and introducing new stuff. Tell me a little bit about what your schedule looked like before all this happened, because there's no way you work less than 16 hours daily.
And there's no like start time and stop time for work. You just kind of work until you have something else to do, basically, I guess. But I love, yeah. So it's funny. Let me answer your question, and then I'll connect it through to the next thing. It'll be the same thing but different. So regular day before this mess would be just kind of waking up, getting started into social posting, catching up on emails, that kind of stuff. Any projects that we're working on, getting a little chunk of them knocked out. And then usually I teach like an afternoon kind of class, not always, but typically there's an afternoon class a couple times a week. And then a small little break in the afternoon for eating, dogs, and last minute things that I need to catch up on before teaching for the evening. All of that is still pretty similar, except the teaching is done through this, and the side projects are learning how to use a projector and a ring light and all sorts of stuff like that I would never have thought I'd need. But it's really funny because what we're doing right now, what we're able to do right now has always been in the works. Not, I don't want to say it's been on the back burner, but if there's a middle burner possible, like that's where it was. Forefront is running the centers and the affiliation and getting our affiliates what they need. And then that middle burner spot that I'm going to create was online courses and building up a database of workouts and training and stuff like that. And so we had soft released it maybe 5 months ago. I don't know what time is anymore. But we had kind of soft released it, and again, that middle burner spot is where it found itself in, and this happened, and I was like, oh, like yes, this comes to the front. So it's kind of strange, kind of crazy, but yeah. So the project that was there has been fast tracked, moved to the front burner, and it's boiling now, and it's kind of fun.
Awesome. Yeah. So now with that all kind of shifting and moving, I mean, what is your day-to-day looking like now?
Morning is catching up on getting our recorded classes to members who missed it. So YouTube uploading, crazy. Again, a back burner thing all of a sudden on the front. But getting posts scheduled for the next day. I try to stay a day or two ahead. It sometimes works. It sometimes doesn't. Filming content, hitting a noon workout through Facebook Live, not filming dogs, although that would be fun. Filming, letting my dogs out, giving them some time, feeding them, feeding me, all that good stuff. And then evening classes through Zoom.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of days look like for a lot of people right now, which is a little crazy, but that's okay, right?
It's it's funny too, because starting like that first Zoom class I taught, I was like, this is white belt of teaching again. Like I need to figure this all out again. Oh my gosh. It ended up being a good steep learning curve there too. But wow, it was crazy.
So let me ask you a question. Obviously, like you talked about with steep learning curve with some of this technology and other stuff, but even before all of this, you're somebody who has consistently sought out lots of training. You never stop learning. You're always adding to your skill set. As somebody with a vast skill set and a lot of skills in general, somebody who is sought after to teach, to be taught, to have teach, what is it about yourself personally that keeps you motivated to continue to train, to strive to be better on a daily basis?
Yeah. One, the people around me, I want to keep getting better for them. And there are people coming up that are like younger than me now. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not the youngest one in the room anymore. Oh my gosh, I got to work. So that's kind of weird, but yeah, I also I'm going to nerd out a little bit. I love learning. So like whether it's a physical skill or learning the best way to put content online, I've probably heard 6 people say the same thing 20 different ways. But it helped, like that's how I learn. It helps me. So I'll go to a seminar and learn, like, you can teach me choke defense, cool. Like, and every little part of it, I might know something, or you might say something differently. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm stealing that. That's what happens when we have instructor courses. Like, I love taking defensive options 1 instructor courses and being a part of that, because somebody, says, okay, you throw your front kick like I don't know, a beetle flings dirt. That's ridiculous. I don't know. But I'm like, oh, wow, that's really funny. Like, I'm going to steal that or something, So I just love learning. And that's what keeps driving me seminar to seminar, course to course, all that kind of stuff.
Which is awesome. And I think you in particular really bring people who have that mentality as well. I know when I was in Charlotte with you in October, I mean, that was not the first time I trained with you guys, but you guys just seem to bring people closer to you with that same mentality. And it kind of goes to speak toward your guys' training, the way that you incorporate other people, right? Is that you're not afraid to bring people completely outside of, what is normal.
Yeah. That word. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so here's a quick question for you. So we were talking a little bit about feeding the dogs and feeding yourself. Do you have a favorite pre or post workout snack?
Probably pre is going to be apples and peanut butter. I will eat that whether it's pre-workout or post-workout or any time in between. Like that's just my go-to in terms of being quick, easy, energy boost, all that good stuff, or whatever I'm supposed to say nutrition-wise. Man, post-workouts are when protein shakes taste the best for me. So that's usually when I hit mine, either in the morning or after a workout when I'm starving and I'm like, I need some kind of substance, but quickly. That's probably my go-to. And I use almond milk, and then I'll cut it with a little bit of chocolate almond milk because I'm extra like that, I guess. And then the protein powder and a little bit of the peanut butter powder too.
My husband, he is training for a triathlon, and he introduced me a while back to cookies and cream whey protein with a little PB Fit.
Yeah. The PB Fit's good.
Yeah, holy moly, that tastes like a Butterfinger.
So I'm vegetarian, and I find vegan proteins, but it's hard to find something that tastes good. So the PB Fit works really well, and then the splash of chocolate almond milk.
Yeah,
that's what makes it palatable.
Great tip. So let me ask you another question. Obviously, we talked a little bit about all the amazing instructors that you have brought to work with you, and you have gone out and worked with. I mean, the list of instructors it's just insane.
Yeah.
Of all the people that you have trained with, who would you say over-delivered?
Ooh.
In a good way, obviously.
Okay. This answer is one of the more recent things. So no offense to people in the past, not that, Eric Paulson is watching this video, but whatever, you never know, I guess. So this is something that happened recently, and a lot of the people who we bring in really over deliver on content. But I want to tell you someone who over delivers on personality, and that's Chad Lyman, just down a couple states from you, in Las Vegas at Extreme Couture. Man, that dude, we meet people who can kill you with their pinky, and then they can be super nice guys. That happens. But hanging out watching Chad interact with people before a seminar, and granted, he knew a lot of people, but plenty of people he didn't, and he's just walking around. And maybe this is just like my shock of being around someone that's not a Ryan Hoover introvert type personality, but he's walking around and, hey, how are you? My name's Chad. How's it going? How are you? Did you get this? That dude over delivers on personality. It's incredible. And I'm an introvert. If I were in a seminar, I would be off to the side. Like, don't look at me. Don't touch me. Don't make notice, but you just can't help. You can't help absorbing that energy from Chad. So that was awesome to feel. And that's not typically something where you see people over deliver on.
That's excellent. And Chad was actually Portland police, so he's up in my area pretty frequently. I just haven't made it to one of his trainings just yet, but he's on my list.
Yeah, absolutely. He should be on everyone's list.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with that. Him and Jay Wadsworth as well. So I've gotten the opportunity to speak with him, and both guys are just you know, I've worked with a lot of law enforcement, and sometimes the attitude that comes with that is not always warm and welcoming. But that's things I've noticed about both Chad and Jay, is they're kind people. They're just kind-hearted, giving people. So I appreciate that. I think that's a great answer.
Well,
So let me ask you one last question before we wrap it up. I know you've got a lot of filming to do, but with all of the people that you have taught over the years, I mean, it's got to be in the close to hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. Do you have a favorite success story?
Ooh, man, a favorite one. Man, I don't know if I can pick out like a favorite one. It's and everyone who comes up with like a success story is pretty incredible. I'm gonna take this time to kind of say, you, the listener at home, the people who are going out of their way, doing what they can, no matter what, to do something, anything. The idea that I'm going to do the best I can where I am with what I've got, kind of thing. And it's usually those people that have the biggest success stories, those kind of mentalities. We have a few people at our center that have done incredible things in terms of losing weight, overcoming confidence issues, that kind of thing. And their messages are what fuels a lot of us to keep going. So that's awesome. So it doesn't have to be like I lost 200 pounds. It doesn't have to be I had crippling fears of going out in public and now I'm just amazing. It's anyone who's had that mindset shift of, this doesn't fit my schedule, this doesn't work for me, this isn't, whatever XYZ problem, and they have just decided, you know what, I can do 5 push-ups right now, right here where I am. I did it. Boom. That's what you need right there. So
Excellent. That's wonderful. So for those people who want to find out more about you and kind of what you've got coming up, where can they find that information?
Yeah, so you can check me personally out on Facebook, Amber Staklinski. If you're watching the Zoom video, it just pops up in the bottom corner every once in a while. It's hard to spell, but you should find me pretty easily. And if you want more on what's going on with Fit to Fight, as much as possible, we're keeping our pages up to date, fit2fight.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Fit to Fight Republic. You'll see a lot there in terms of workouts, live video options, some IGTV stuff. Those are probably some of the best ways. And then if you want to see more about my dogs, you can follow me on Instagram, and that's where mostly dog things live.
And they are pretty cute.
Right? I think so.
Awesome. Well, Amber, thank you for joining us today. And everybody else, keep hanging around, keep checking back in. We've got more interviews coming at you.